Welcome to our channel. In today's tutorial, we will be diving deep into one of the most common errors Java developers face: the java.lang.NullPointerException. This error occurs when your Java program attempts to use an object reference that has not been initialized or points to null. Let's break down how you can identify the cause of this error and resolve it effectively, step by step. Step 1. Understand the cause. The null pointer exception typically happens when you attempt to access or modify an object or its members, fields, methods, etc., while the reference is null. This could happen with arrays, collections, or any object. It's essential to check where your program is trying to use null. Step 2. Review your code for null values. The first step in fixing this issue is to carefully review your code. Look for areas where you're referencing objects that may not have been initialized. For example, Java, copyala, string mystring equals null, system.out.println mystring.length, // this will throw a null pointer exception. In this case, since mystring is null calling length, on it will cause the exception. Step 3. Add null checks. To prevent the exception, add null checks before using objects. Use conditional statements like if object equals null to ensure that your program doesn't try to access methods or properties on a null object. Java, copyala, if mystring equals null, system.out.println mystring.length, else system.out.println string is null. Step 4. Use optional Java 8 and above. Java 8 introduced the optional class, which is a great tool for handling null values more gracefully. It allows you to avoid the explicit null checks in some cases and makes your code cleaner. Java, copyala, optional string. Optional string equals optional.of nullable, mystring. Optional string.if present, str-system.out.println str-length. Step 5. Initialize objects properly. Always initialize your objects before you use them. For example, Java, copyala, string mystring equals // initialize to an empty string instead of null. Initialization avoids the risk of encountering null pointer exception in most cases. Step 6. Review stack trace. If the error occurs, Java provides a stack trace with the exception. Look at the line number indicated by the stack trace and analyze the code at that point. It will often point you directly to the problematic null reference. Step 7. Use debugging tools. If you can't immediately identify where the issue lies, use your IDE's debugging tools. You can set breakpoints and step through your code to monitor the values of your variables and see where they might be null. Step 8. Refactor code with proper object handling. If your project is large, it's helpful to refactor the code so that the potential for null pointer exception is minimized. Avoid passing null values around when possible, and prefer returning empty collections or optional when an object might not exist. Step 9. Test thoroughly. Once you apply these changes, ensure that you test your program thoroughly. Unit tests can be especially useful in catching places where null might be used unexpectedly. Remember, handling null pointer exception is not about just fixing it when it happens. It's about designing your code to minimize or eliminate its occurrence. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like the video.